everybody? What's going on, Daddy Lolo, Regina? What's going on, G Money, Sweet and Sassy? What is y'all doing tonight? It's Friday night. Y'all. I'm mad tired, but I am on this consistent thing, and I will be on the camera soon. I just really did not. I just really said I can't right now. But anyway, I wanted to talk about some of the things going on. None too deep. Nothing too deep. Well, as far as I'm concerned. Just wanted to get into that, but thank y'all for coming to the live, and please make sure that you do like the video. I would appreciate that. It's a lot of mess going on. What's up, Rochelle? It's a lot of things going on with R. Kelly. I just basically see this whole situation with R. Kelly as at this point is they're trying to frame him. So I just want to I'm gonna play this video. Know if maybe y'all saw it. Let's see. Let me go there. Just to bring the news. Before I do that, I will read this article in case there are some people that have no idea what's going on. Now, you know that Don Russell have been involved in the R. Kelly case. He's been on YouTube channels speaking to different YouTubers. He's even been in my chat at some certain times when I had talked about him. And so, right, Friday night just got paid. I hear that. Don Russell's been in the chats. He's been talking to YouTubers. I feel like this is a mess. I feel like Don Russell is being framed. I feel like he's being blamed. I feel that because R. Kelly's trial is coming up, that they doing any and everything. I feel that they as in the feds are applying a lot of pressure, and they feel a lot of pressure because they don't have enough tangible evidence to support, and this is my opinion because I'm not them and I don't have the evidence, but they don't have enough, in my opinion, to support these heavy charges that they putting on R. Kelly and putting on the people. I mean, some things could be true because around the time Surviving R. Kelly came out, it was said that somebody had put a threat out. But let's just take a look at this article from TMZ just to read a little bit. Again, thanks y'all for coming to the chat on such a notice. And please like the video. I appreciate it if you do that. R. Kelly alleged manager charged over shooting threat to Nick's Surviving, whatever the hell, doc screening, okay? R. Kelly's alleged manager is facing more legal fallout. This is not Donna. Okay, here we go. Fallout with the feds claim are efforts to ruin interference for the disgraced singer. Don Russell's part of it. Don Russell has just been charged by the U.S. Department of Justice for alleged threat to shoot up in New York City theater. They got this spelling fucked up. In December 2018, when the Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly was being screened. The feds claim Russell admitted to first sending a cease and desist letter trying to end the screening, but when that failed, prosecutors allege he phoned in the shooting threat and successfully mixed the event, which was being attended by a number of Kelly's alleged victims. TMZ broke the story. Law enforcement sources told us an R. Kelly associate was a person of interest over an alleged threat that came in just 20 minutes before the start of the screening. Russell was charged with 1 count of conspiracy to threaten physical harm and 1 count of threatening physical harm. Each charge carries a max sentence of 5 years in prison. This, of course, is just the tip of the legal iceberg for Russell, okay? Now, what I find crazy is that Angelo Clary, Alice Clary, John Jalen, I'm calling all the parents up. All the parents. I find crazy that none of the parents are being put out here. These are the guardians of these girls. If you're talking about kids, then you have to at least focus or acknowledge their parents. Like, I don't understand that, But what I do understand is that they want to take R. Kelly down. They want to hush up people closest to him, every ounce, every part of help that he could possibly have. So now, and so, yeah, that's what I feel about it. I feel that it's all a part of a big setup. I want to go ahead and play this video from Court TV. Court TV did an interview with Stephen Greenberg, who is, of course, R. Kelly's attorney. And let's take a look in case you have not haven't seen it, let's take a look at it.
In with a really
Hold
bizarre.
on now. Let me get to the thing. Here we go. You said they already took R. Kelly down. Well, he still have his day in court, and I'm gonna hold on to that. Trust me, I am 100% with letting R. Kelly have his day in court. I'm not against that at all. There's not an ounce in me that will call this man guilty of anything, of the crimes, I'll say. Until this man have his day in court, the man deserves his day in court. They closed all doors. They're not letting Stephen Greenberg be able to counsel with him, talk to him. It's just a mess. So let's go ahead and play this video.
Strange development in the R. Kelly case. And there have been strange developments before. It's one of those cases. And as you recall, R. Kelly facing charges in Illinois, in New York, state court, federal court. It's a mess for him. It's an absolute mess. But his attorneys filed some motion papers that caught our attention this week. I want to put up on the screen what they are and then try to get to the bottom of what is going on here. A motion to require the disclosure of grand jury subpoenas, production of all grand jury materials, and for a protective order. And incredibly, among the bank records produced, and this means produced by the government, were records from one of the individual attorneys currently representing Mr. Kelly in his federal criminal case in New York, and from a major international law firm who had previously represented Mr. Kelly. The attorney's records date back to 2013. Now, the government does not have, and this is the argument being made, does not have and never had any lawful basis to believe that either the New York lawyer or the law firm ever engaged in any type of improper conduct. In short, the government went on an unreasonable, intimidating, and harassing fishing expedition into the records of Mr. Kelly's current counsel, as well as into the records of one of the country's preeminent law firms. So what is going on
Who do y'all think this lawyer is? Do y'all know who this lawyer is?
Here, apparently the feds are looking at the bank records of R. Kelly's attorneys. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you think about, again, when you are investigating like a mob boss or the drug cartel, and you know everybody's dirty, but you're looking at records from law firms. So we need to get some perspective and understand exactly what's going on here. So we've invited Steve Greenberg, one of the attorneys for R. Kelly, on the program. Join us from Chicago. Steve, great to see you. Let's clarify.
You too, Vinny.
Not your bank records. You're not your bank records, right?
And I want to acknowledge what you said. What is it, Benz? Let me see here. I want to acknowledge what you said, okay? Because this is not a live that you have to be all for R. Kelly. This is not reality. So Benz out said that he had no business with underage girls to begin with. Don't jump on Ben, okay, because this is real. No one has a right, no grown-up should be with no young underage kids. But the point, you know my point. My point is that what they are trying to prove is that he wasn't with underage girls. That's what they're trying to prove, that these were women. But I would like you to, of course, maybe emphasize on your thoughts. Maybe later on you could call in or whatever. I just wanted to acknowledge that, because everybody does not believe that R. Kelly is innocent. And the reality is, over here on Spicy Topic 2020, is that the reality, jurors, I can't say that word right? Jurors are going to be with and against R. Kelly. So that's the reality. Even the nature of the case and the charges are very, very hard for people to even be on R. Kelly's side. It's hard for them to be on his side and to support him because of the nature of the charges. It's a lot of people that don't support R. Kelly. It's a lot of people that find him guilty. People holding on to the whole scenario with Aaliyah. People are not letting go of the whole first videotape. Although we've come a long way, although we provided a lot of information, made a lot of videos, did all the research we could do, people are still not convinced. And that's the nature of the jury. That's what the jury's going to do. So I'm not down to you on that. I'm not going to put you down on that. Of course, you have an entitlement. A grown woman or man should not be messing with a kid. And if anybody thinks they should, then they sick and they don't need to be in this chat. They don't even need to be free. But what I'm saying is I will not convict him. I will allow the evidence to find him innocent or guilty. That's all. But I feel you.
Not my bank records, right? But it really is an overreach. We had a status this week.
Put some perspective on this. I want to give folks at home the big picture first, okay?
Okay.
Is this something that normally happens? Does the federal government, when they've got a criminal defendant, start investigating his or her attorneys as well?
Oh, God, no. It would be awful. It would have such a chilling effect that no one would ever be able to find any lawyer to represent them. The explanation that the government provided this week during the status we had was that they were trying to find out where money was going from Kelly's accounts, and they at least claimed that they didn't know when they subpoenaed the records that the records actually belonged to the lawyer and the law firm.
Lies.
I want to find out what else they're looking for, what else they happen to fall into, because the government can't just, when you're under indictment, go and look at every aspect of your life and every decision that you made. They have to have a reasonable basis for doing it, and we don't think they have that here.
Well, let me ask you this. You know, you're sitting back, you've got to represent R. Kelly, and you've got a bunch of cases, like I said, state and federal, Illinois, New York. When you see prosecutors doing things like this, and I'm a former prosecutor, not a federal prosecutor, but I'm a former prosecutor, do you see this as a sign of strength of their case or a sign of weakness of their case?
Good question.
I don't see it as a sign of either. I see it as a sign of overkill. They have indicted R. Kelly in New York, in Chicago, in federal court, in state court, in Minnesota. There is such overkill when you examine the charges against him that I have no idea why they need to extract or try and extract any more pound of flesh from this poor man. And let me tell you a bigger problem, Vinny, and I know this wasn't something that I talked to your producer about beforehand, but here's a bigger problem. R. Kelly is set to go to trial in a little bit under 6 weeks. We cannot meet with him. We cannot see him. We cannot talk to him about his case. We cannot review documents with him. How in this country can someone be expected to go to trial and defend themselves against this?
Before he go deep, because that's another talking point, racketeering, guys. Racketeering. What immediately came across my mind when this whole subject came up. How did I get on Truth Media? I don't know, but shout out to Truth Media. I didn't know this was coming from there. But what came to my mind initially is racketeering. Have they already put their foot in their mouth? Have they already gave him so many charges that they don't have enough evidence? The feds, have they already put so much on him, but they don't have nothing, that they have to go sneak around and fish around in his lawyer's bank account and try to connect that lawyer who was connected to 2013? Have they tried to connect that to kind of support their theory, their charge of racketeering? Is that it? You know, that thought came across my mind. If you understand, I feel like they put so much on R. Kelly, the feds. They put so many charges that now they down to the wire. They got until next month in October and to present their evidence.
This kind of an onslaught, and they're kept as if they're in a dungeon in some third world nation.
So, from my experience, usually if a defense attorney comes in and says, you know, we're not ready, we have to get through the discovery, we've got to do this, we haven't been able to meet with our client because of these restrictions, most courts will say, okay, we'll see you in a couple months. Do you foresee a problem with getting this case moved a little bit later in light of everything that's happened in the world?
Well, we don't want to get the case later. We want to prepare and we want to be able to go to trial. They are trying cases. They did 2 cases here in federal court in Illinois this week, and I think they're starting up trials again in New York. We don't want to, the same people that are prosecuting R. Kelly control whether we can see him or not. It's all the Department of Justice. It's all one big umbrella. Right. And it's unfair. So we shouldn't have to go and say, because you're making it impossible for us to meet with our client and prepare for trial, we need a continuance of the trial. Let's have a fair playing field here and let us get going on this thing.
All right.
So he's ready to get going on this.
Millions of people have seen Surviving R. Kelly. People understand this.
And that's my point. 2.1 million people in July 2019 already saw that. The first one. The thing came out April. So you had 2 months, if I'm remembering and understanding it right. So many people saw this. Everybody knows about this. This is something to keep in mind as he says what he's about to say. Let's go.
It's a strange, strange world he was living in, and a lot of people think he's a really bad person, does not treat women well. Can you explain what is your argument going to be? Because you've got accuser after accuser who's going to come into courtrooms in 2 different states, in different jurisdictions. And I mean, are they all lying?
Well, I don't know that they're all lying, because you have to examine what they've said and how that fits into the charges. To the extent people have said that R. Kelly kidnapped women, held them hostage, chained them up in his house, stuff like that. No one says it except for these women who went on the show. Now, you can imagine that R. Kelly, the amount of people that had to be coming in and out on a daily basis. How many people were at the studio? How many people were at these mansions he had? He would have these gigantic parties with hundreds of people at his house. None of those people say that they saw anything that these women say occurred. No one found any hooks in the ground that you would handcuff someone to or in a wall. No one found any spots on the carpets where, if someone was peeing in a bucket, you'd expect to find some overspill or something like that. None of it's confirmed. There's no physical evidence. There's no video evidence. So why these people said what they said, I think that what happened was that it got out of control and it was sort of like a snowball rolling down the hill. There's not going to be the physical evidence to back up 99% of the allegations that are being made.
So what I'm hearing from you is that when you go to trial, these are not cases where, hey, you've got evidence.
You said, does COVID have anything to do with it? The crazy thing is, and somebody else was saying it in the comments of one of these videos, they didn't want to let him out due to COVID. They fought him at every turn. Yet, recently, what happened with COVID? That they wanted to reschedule, the prosecutors wanted to reschedule or something like that. I mean, this shit is just working out for their benefit. It's like they just are, it's no win for him at this point. It's going to take an act of God and evidence. He has to have evidence. And I feel like Steve Greenberg is pretty ready. He ready. And like you said, he has the right to a speedy trial.
Need to present, you are just saying they don't have enough evidence to prove this. And I understand that's the burden of proof, but there are trials where the defense comes in and says, no, we've got evidence that you're lying. We've got evidence of this. We've got evidence of that. This is a case where you're just saying they don't have the evidence.
Right.
They don't. And let me give you one of the examples. One of the charges in New York is that he went from New York to New Jersey and had sex with someone while he had a sexually transmittable disease. That's one of the RICO acts. Now just imagine if every time someone who had, VD or something like that or under the New York law, even a yeast infection qualifies.
Gosh.
Imagine if they could turn that into a federal case. It's overkill, it's overreach, and it's just an abuse of the system.
Right.
Now, do you think R. Kelly, after the documentary and after, he had charges years ago, was found not guilty, I understand, but do you think his reputation has been so tarnished that he doesn't get what most celebrities get inside a courtroom, which is the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah.
I've seen it time after time.
Right. I like to call it the super presumption of innocence, and O.J. Simpson is probably the greatest example of that. Unfortunately, I think that he's getting the super presumption of guilt, but that's our job as lawyers, to talk to the jurors in voir dire, to talk to them in opening statement, to hope that we pick jurors who can put that aside and listen to the evidence. I have great faith in our jury system here in this country. I've tried horrific cases with great results over the years, and found jurors are willing to listen to the evidence and put aside what they hear, all the noise that's around a case, and I'm confident that'll happen in this case.
All right. Steve Greenberg, the attorney for R. Kelly.
Okay. What do y'all feel about Steve? How y'all feeling? Daddy Lolo says reschedule because prosecutors going to have a problem getting their witnesses in due to COVID, and that's not R. Kelly's fault. Okay. Well, Steve sounds like he's ready to get this thing and this ball rolling. When one of the things they talked about was venereal disease. And if y'all been watching my lives, if you've been rocking with me, psych. But I did a live when Cardi came out with that song WAP, Wet Ass Punani. These things that people promote in these songs and the over sexualized imagery that they use for attention and for their fame. What does it mean when you got this man in court being tried over a sexual transmitted disease allegation? The case of who gave it to me. Like, how does that, why should we still promote these songs that promote sexual disease transmission? Those are all of the things that I like to talk about. And also, I'm going to show you in a few minutes, Carbonation. I've been following them for a while. I've been watching their videos and how they freely have this fake polygamous relationship. One of the people left the group, and she's talking boldly and vaguely about her STD issue. So just the freedom, I mean, that's a federal charge, right? That's something that the same thing that R. Kelly is being charged with. Why is it so important and relevant when it comes to R. Kelly? But it's not that important when it comes to somebody that's have all these women that he's over there beating up, calling his wives. He's physically abusing those women. The dude, Nature Boy, over there beating them women up. They all sharing STDs. 2 people got in trouble. One girl left that group. Later on, she killed her mom recently. Another person died while there. So why aren't they investigating him? Why is he out? Why is he free? Is it a matter of the rich and poor? Is it a matter of, it has to be. It has to be a matter of the rich and poor. Hey, Spitting Fire, Lachey, hey, Jocelyn, and thank you so much, Jocelyn, so much for what you did for me yesterday. You know I love you. So in a few minutes, y'all, since y'all all here, this time call in. Okay, a couple calls. Nobody called yesterday. Hopefully the phones was working. But I do appreciate people like Bands Out, because Bands Out, you have a different opinion. So we want to hear you, not to bash you. We are jury. You know, there's going to be people that's saying yay and nay. That's just the bottom line. We're there. Can anybody go to the trial, y'all? Can anybody go? Peace and blessings, Yisrael. So yeah, that was that. You know, I think Stephen Greenberg made some awesome points. And I think he's going to stick to it. He's been sticking to it from the beginning. Evidence. Say what you say. Say what you want. Surviving R. Kelly, yeah. You made a lot of accusations. But it all comes down to what you can prove. What you can prove. Because there's a lot of shady shit in this. There's a lot of shady shit. Parents pushing their daughters in front of R. Kelly. Shopping and modeling their daughters in front of R. Kelly. Yet they're not in any of these articles. Nobody's going after them. They so busy going after R. Kelly. I'm like, well, I'm wondering why y'all not finding out who was behind that fake Joycelyn Savage account. That's fraud. That's identity theft. People actually got money. They took people's money. Cardi B was up in the fake Joycelyn's Instagram DM. But nobody's talking about that. Feds are not interested in that crime. Why is one crime bigger, and since it's one person, why is that more important? Why does that take more precedence over somebody else's crime? Since it's crime and it should be fair and just. Why? That's what I want to know. Shouldn't they be finding out what happened and who was behind that Joycelyn Savage account? I don't understand it. Shouldn't they be behind investigating them damn parents? Now, I saw something on Azriel's somebody had, I don't know if there was a dispute between her and her family, but she was saying something contrary to all that happiness. She was upset about something. If somebody had that, hey T. Stevens, if somebody had that stuff, send it to me, please. Because I would love to see it. She was fussing with her mom and her dad, talking, I don't know, but putting it out in social media. We are at the wire. Anything they say right now means something, because now their asses got to put their, go ahead and go to court next month in October. It's time. Unless they push it back, they're fearing now. They're anxious now. All you've done all in the media now, it's going to be right on display. Everybody's going to see it, and everybody's going to judge you now. So that was that. That was that. And there was another one. Stephen Greenberg talks about, where was it? I think this is the one when there were threats. The threats. We talking about Don Russell and this and that. I feel like Don wouldn't do something like that. I don't believe Don would do that. That is so stupid. You all this, and Stephen Greenberg is going to say this in this video. He's going to say they are surveilling him. They watching every email, every telephone call, every time he goes to the bathroom. They on him. So if he was involved in any of that stuff with those three close friends, then they would have indicted him on that. So I doubt R. Kelly. I just don't believe he have nothing to do with that. And I really feel it's shady. I really feel what happened with Azriel's car being burned. I feel like there's something shady with that. How y'all feel? Let's go ahead and play this one. This is about the three men. The three friends of R. Kelly. Let me see. Stop. Let me turn it on here.
So we here at Court TV have been tracking the trials, plural, of R&B superstar R. Kelly, who is locked up right now, but has cases in New York, in Illinois, federal court, state court, several accusers, all women saying some level of sex abuse is what they're alleging. Well, the big news today is that some of these accusers may be being threatened and harassed by people associated with R. Kelly. At least that's what prosecutors are saying. Let me put up on the screen. We've got three sets of accusations here. The first one against a man named Richard Arlene, who's allegedly a longtime friend of R. Kelly. In substance, during the recorded three-way call described in paragraph 9 of an affidavit, Arline Jr. discussed a proposal in which Jane Doe, one of the accusers, would receive $500,000 in exchange for not continuing to cooperate with the government against R. Kelly. One of the accusations, okay? Next one. This one involves Michael Williams, who prosecutors described as being related to a former R. Kelly publicist. On June 11th, 2020, at approximately 2:50 a.m. Eastern, a black SUV, which had been leased from Enterprise commercial vehicle establishment and was parked outside of the residence in Florida where Jane Doe, another accuser, was staying, was set on fire in an apparent arson. The vehicle sustained substantial damage as a result.
This is what I'm saying. Like, who's going to be that damn stupid? Who would know that the feds are watching you, though? Come on now. It was some YouTubers that was in the court documents for their actions. So Don Russell, as close as he is to R. Kelly, these people are close. I don't know those other two, but come on. I don't believe this. I just feel like it's something shady going on. And it's real fucked up, for real. It's really fucked up.
Result of the arson. Third accusation. This one involving Donnell Russell, who was allegedly a manager and advisor to R. Kelly. The defendant, Donnell Russell, also known as Don Russell and Cologne Dunn, together with others, engaged in a course of conduct designed to harass and intimidate Jane Doe, another accuser, by, among other things, threatening to reveal potentially embarrassing photographs of Jane Doe and to publicly reveal Jane Doe's sexual history if Jane Doe did not withdraw her lawsuit against R. Kelly.
And they already had that. They had that. Remember they was talking about that way back when? With Faith Rogers. I believe Faith Rogers was on some show with her mom, and she was talking about that, saying that she met up with somebody. Was that the same or was that the Surviving Lies thing? So this has already been, we already knew this. We was already aware of that. That was filed, I guess, on March 9th, 2020 anyway. So, yeah, we already aware of this.
Wow. So, these are the accusations. Again, these people the government is saying, all tied to R. Kelly, who they've really been painting a picture of as being some sort of a crime boss. And I've been sort of skeptical about that. I'm a little less skeptical tonight. Right. So let's bring in R. Kelly's attorney joining us from Chicago tonight, Steve Greenberg.
Yay!
Steve, you know, one of the issues we've been talking about is the government saying they want anonymous jurors, and I was very skeptical about it. But if the government has evidence that associates of your client are intimidating and threatening and attempting to pay off
Am I your associate? Vinny, am I your associate? Would you describe me as your associate?
You're my guest.
Okay.
You're my guest.
But what does that mean, an associate of R. Kelly? What does that really mean? Now, Don Russell
manager,
has a relationship.
Manager?
Former manager. Okay.
Okay. How about Richard Arline, longtime friend? No?
No. So here's what
Not
you've
a
got.
friend?
Here's what you've got. Let's start with Don Russell, okay? The acts that Don Russell is accused of committing predate R. Kelly's indictment. R. Kelly got sued in New York. It was a public suit. Don Russell took it upon himself to send some materials to the lawyer, filed materials with the court. The lawyer is obviously representing this girl, made certain allegations in those materials, made certain statements in those materials. This is not something where, since R. Kelly has been indicted, Don Russell went out and started threatening people to not testify against R. Kelly. The supposed longtime friend.
Can we talk about the car that's on fire, the SUV?
Jeez.
Well, that has nothing to do with him. There's nothing in that complaint that says that R. Kelly has anything at all to do with that, anything whatsoever, that he's even ever met this person. He has nothing to do with that. They listen to every phone call he makes. They read every letter he sends. They know every time he takes a crap, okay? If he was involved in any of this, you would have seen him indicted for it along with these people.
Exactly. Did you hear? They're trying to create reasonable doubt. It has nothing to do with R. Kelly, but they've been crying and they've been complaining and saying, the prosecutors have been saying all along, we can't let him out because he will threaten the witnesses. So they are just scouting. They're just trying to implant thoughts already, because they already know that these jurors already are aware of R. Kelly. So they are trying to win, and they're doing it in the dirtiest, grimiest way. Because like he said, his name is not any of those in that paperwork. His name's not in that. But yet, they already implanted the thought and the image that R. Kelly is about that life. But yeah, they surveilling him. They watching him. So they would have known. Go ahead, Steve.
How about the phone call that Richard Arline made? The $500,000.
He's not on that phone call.
With the government.
R. Kelly's not on that phone call. R. Kelly, they don't have a single call.
Why
of R.
is Richard
Kelly.
Arline doing that? Was he just a rabid fan that wants to make sure R. Kelly can go back on tour?
I say this tongue in cheek, but if R. Kelly had $500,000, I'm Exhibit A. I wouldn't be the only lawyer who's coming on your show talking. Okay? He doesn't have $500,000. They know he doesn't have $500,000. The other day they put out something that he got $1.2 million in his bank account last year. Yeah, a star of the magnitude of R. Kelly got $1.2 million when he was out of jail from all his royalties, from all his hits, before he paid any of his expenses, managers, and so forth. It's ridiculous. And the person who's making these allegations left R. Kelly when she knew he had no money. She knew he was broke.
Azriel.
It's as if I told you that I'm going to make you the king of England.
That would piss me off. That would piss me off. See, this is the thing. I don't know how. And I have to stop this because this is not my video, so I have to stop it. But for you, child, girl, little acting ass girl, to be the girl, oh my God. And it's like, I couldn't do it. I don't know how R. Kelly could deal with that shit. Yo, how could any of y'all men, could y'all deal with that? Maybe I'm hyper annoyed. Like, I can't deal with that. She already showed who she was. Like, just think about it. This girl lived with him. He know her ways. He know how she is. He know she's a brat. She's spoiled. He know that. He knows she likes to do, she gets mad and she acts out like a baby, like a kid when she wants to get her way. He knows that. So look what she's did. What he's alleging that she done. Allegedly, she's telling the feds that he's doing these things. Maybe that explains why they throwing all this stuff out here. Maybe because she's talking, running her lips, telling stuff. Now, we know her word is not law, and she's been lying about things. We know that Azriel, allegedly, has been manipulating things. She started a fight with Joycelyn, and then it's the same one that turned around during that fight, said you had sex with me when I was a minor. She repeated, but then a couple months later, what'd she do? She went on social media and told the world that she missed the same person that she alleged was her rapist. Shit's crazy. She's crazy. I would not be able to deal with that. I'm telling you, I couldn't deal with that. I don't know how he even had that around him, to be honest.
It's as believable as that.
So your position is that R. Kelly has nothing to do with this, that this has nothing to do with the charges. Will this be part of any of these cases? I mean, is the government going to use this information? I mean, your guy has been charged with RICO, right? Racketeering.
Right. So the allegations that they of the underlying acts that result in the civil suit are already part of the New York indictment. What they're trying to do here, Vinny, it's transparent. They're trying to squeeze these guys. These guys wouldn't cooperate with the government. They wouldn't give them any information. They wouldn't say anything bad about R. Kelly. They're ratcheting up the pressure on them. They're hoping to squeeze them to get them to say something bad about R. Kelly, whether it's true or not. And that's all this is. This is intimidation by the government. That's what this is, not intimidation by these people. If you read what Don Russell sent, it is nonsensical. Nonsensical. And this particular individual posts suggestive pictures of herself all over Twitter all the time.
So, all right.
It's enough.
It's
enough.
One or more of these, let's say, if the government, as you say, is just trying to squeeze these three.
And you see them being careful with that. You see them being careful because you can't come across as if you're body shaming or whatever, victim shaming. You can't do that. But yes, just like the feds are trying to input imagery and thoughts, because we see, that's what I believe we all see, that Azriel, she dresses like a Instagram stripper. She comes out in bikinis, thongs, very sexual, very, very, very sexually explicit. She likes to take pictures like that. She has songs. It's like you throwing it in the world's face. Yeah, I'm accusing you, but yes, I'm still going to talk dirty because they're going to believe me over you. And that's that dirty ass stuff that I just couldn't deal with. You got to learn how to weed those type of people out. You have to know who you got in your circle, and don't be blinded by looks. Don't be blinded by looks, because that, hey, what the Bible say? Her tongue is sweet, but in the end she bites you like is bitter as a snake, poison. You have to watch who you hook up with, who you allow in your space, all of that, because look what happened. Look what happened. She gets to go on and make songs about how she gushy as and her vagina and all of these things, and at the same time accuse a man of doing these horrible things. Although the world don't believe this shit, they want to take him down. So they don't give a damn if she lying or not. If she can prove it, if she can cause reasonable doubt, they'll use her. And that's fucked up. It's really fucked up.
Individuals, let's say that they all three take a deal and testify against R. Kelly. What's that cross-examination going to be like?
Well, it's going to be that they got squeezed and that they never had anything bad to say till it benefited them, till they had to say something, till someone took their arm and twisted it behind their back. It'll be a great cross-examination. It'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be very effective. It's enough.
So you're not worried about this?
Not at all.
You're not worried about any of this?
There's things I'm worried about.
I read this.
These not.
All right, because when I read this, I was like, oh, okay. Steve has not been honest with me about this whole kingpin stuff. Because if you've got people who are doing work for you on the outside and are squeezing accusers, that sounds a lot more like a trial that may need anonymous jurors. But we'll see where all this falls.
If R. Kelly's on, Vinny, I'm going to tell you, if R. Kelly's on the phone telling someone, subliminally implying anything, that they should go pay off a witness with all the other problems he's facing, then he's the dumbest guy in America. Yeah. And I can tell you, he may not be able to read and write, but he ain't dumb.
All right. Steve Greenberg, the attorney for R. Kelly.
All right. So that was that. That's that. And I would have to say, that's what I said. If he had anything to do with that, then that's very stupid. But I never for a second thought R. Kelly would be stupid at all. Like, that's
appreciate you coming on.
Incriminating yourself. That's crazy. So no, I don't believe that, not at all, that R. Kelly had anything to do with that. Now I think Stephen Greenberg. Hold on, Slim Thick. Can I get your number? Okay. So Stephen Greenberg has his client is R. Kelly. His client is not Don Russell. So he's very confident that that is nothing. He's not worried about that because his client, who's paying him to win his case, to fight to the death, is R. Kelly. So that's that. Okay. Mr. Wallace says, she on my Facebook page and she sure doesn't look like a victim. She looks like she is desperate. Right. That's definitely desperate. Definitely desperate. And I just need people to really look at you have to look at the evidence, because surviving R. Kelly them tainted, anybody's discernment. And really affected what people really would, get as far as giving him the benefit of the doubt. They're not just gonna do that. They already painted him as a monster, okay? We don't believe he's a monster. Nah, not at all. We know he's not a monster. However, there are people that really think, and that's what the government is trying to prove, that he is a kingpin holding a brothel, a hoe house. So it's just a mess. It's a mess. Smokey B says, how they going against him when they having phone calls, still reaching out to someone to get money through wiretaps. Right. So we gotta know more about that, Smokey. What you mean? Now, if it's something that I don't know, please share. I mean, I can only imagine, but I mean, come on, R. Kelly is not a stupid man. He wouldn't be where he is today. He wouldn't have surpassed where he has surpassed the people, the celebrity. He wouldn't be where he is if he was stupid or ignorant like that, to just get involved in trying to threaten people and all time. That's not what he know better than that. He wouldn't do that. And I don't believe Don Russell would do that. Would Don Russell do that in the beginning? At the height, when before we even saw Surviving R. Kelly, when they knew what was going on, would Don Russell be mad? Like, I don't know. I don't think that he would be stupid to burn up or the car or whatever. I don't believe that he would be that stupid. That just happened. Jocelyn says the jurors are going to look at the facts. Okay, you're right. They are going to look at the facts. Spinfire says she's speaking to a man they're accusing setting a car on fire. A rental. Did you hear me? A rental. Negotiating a deal? Shaking my head. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's just, oh my God, it's just a mess. I don't know. I just had to stay away from it, man. It was just a mess. So that's that on that. With that, okay, the R. Kelly situation. What I'm gonna do, can't take too many, but I will try to open up the phone lines for y'all to call in. Maybe a couple people before I have to roll. Did want to touch on Lizzo and a little bit of Carbonation, just a little bit at the end of this. I know a lot of people, I don't know if y'all know what Carbonation is, but I've been touching on this whole sexual, over-sexualized world we in today, where you have the rappers and singers and people that kids and adults, even dumbass women and men, look up to. Instead of looking up to their parents or to the person that's having a positive impact on them, they rather look up to a rapper or a singer. Anyway, this sexual thing, you have this girl, used to be in this cult. She's no longer in that cult. She's exposing herself as well as them, talking about the sexual diseases she have. I want to play that video because I'm just so shocked. My God, I'm shocked. Give me a second. I'm going to turn the phone thing on here. 1 second. If y'all can, unless we having issues, the number is on the screen. You can call in. The number is 856-537-8679 and say how you feel. Smokey says, Az was having conversations on a three-way call with the feds, and one of the guys that just got, hey, Smokey, call in right now. Call in, 856-537-8679. Call in. Let me make this bigger so you can see it, in case you can't. Let me see if that was... All right, so this is the number, y'all. Call in. Smokey. And until you call in, I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to go ahead and play that video. Well, just telling you about the girl. But definitely let me know if that phone is not ringing or something. Just let me know. And let me play this video. Like I said, they are over-sexualizing everything. People praising Cardi B, but don't y'all know she raising up a whole bunch of hood hoes? But why praise her though? And I'm on her because she ratchet and nasty. I'm on her because she ratchet and nasty and she don't carry herself classy. Now, it's a lot of artists out here. Yes, I saw your video, Spitting Fire, and I have to, I was bumping to Lil Kim's song, my body was, as I watched the video, you know. But when I think about Lil Kim, it made me ask the question, why, uh-oh, we got a call. Hold on, let me get to it. Let me see. Hi, you're on the air.
From Spitting Fire. To accept, press 1.
Okay, why is
to
it
send
still
a voicemail,
ringing?
Press 2. To accept, press 1. To send a...
Okay, Spitting Fire.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? You all right?
Hey, what's going on? I'm good.
Nothing. You still live, right?
Yeah, I'm still live.
Okay, good. Think? So what I was saying in the chat was, what I was saying when I said about the car being caught on fire was, now they saying that he, when it's intimidation and setting a car on fire. Now, it wasn't her personal car or nobody in her family personal car. It just so happened to be a rental. A rental. That's what I was getting everybody to pay attention to and focus on. They didn't set the car on fire. They didn't go. They come all that way.
Right.
They come all that way to not know what cars they setting on fire. They said it just so happened to be a rental. Everybody knows you don't own the rental. When you rent a car, normally they put insurance on it. So the rental place don't give a damn about the car blowing up because they're going to get reimbursed from the insurance company anyway. So it's a rental. It wasn't her car. It wasn't her dad's car. It wasn't her mom's car. It was the rental car. So what I was telling everybody was, and when you were saying, Don Russ, what I was trying to get everybody to understand is, to me personally, and this is just my opinion, okay, my opinion is not golden, but I just think that I am good at logical thinking, okay? Yeah, and I just think that, thank you very much, Lisa, and I just think that I'm coming to a town, out of town, where I'm not even supposed to know where you are, but I'm having conversations with you, and I'm negotiating money, which they're saying I'm trying to bribe you.
Right.
Okay, I'm trying to bribe you on the behalf of our account. I want everybody to hear me now. Listen to this. And I'm hoping the fans listening to it too, because I want them to know that everybody is not fucking stupid. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm on the phone with someone that's supposed to be bribing me, which I know this man is accused of bribing, okay? He's accused of bribing and intimidating witnesses and all this and that, which is so far-fetched. So then I'm going to go out and do the very thing that I'm in jail for. But the Jane Doe that is doing all the negotiating and car got caught on fire just so happened to be my girlfriend at the time of my lockup for about a good 4 to 6 months. Up until what? Early last year after the holidays is when she turned alleged victim. Okay? So I'm already locked up then. So I'm already done. We already done or whatever. All he has is Joycelyn. So now she's on the phone negotiating things, recording things, giving them to the prosecutor. Now there are bloggers over here who actually have been in contact with this young lady. So everybody knows that the setup is real. Okay? So I want everybody to understand something. There's bloggers over here who have actually talked to this girl. I want you guys to hear what Spitting Fire is telling you.
What was they talking to her about?
First of all, the girl was over at bloggers' houses, okay? There was a blogger she was over there at their house, staying with them for a minute and everything else, getting her to turn and flip and leave R. Kelly, which she did, okay? But then there are other people who talk to this blogger, too. You understand what I'm saying? So then you sit up here, and this particular girl, okay, she's on the phone talking to a guy that's been controversial all through these YouTube streets. He's been on people's platforms and everything. So she just so happened to pick up the phone and negotiate, well, 300,000, no, 500,000, no, 1 million, or all this type of numbers. But she so happened to be recording it and giving it to this damn crooked ass prosecutor or feds or whatever, right? So who's supposed to be negotiating this? But then he's supposed to fly, drive, or whatever through all these states. Okay, these are states he's going through. He's not going up the street. He's not going around the block. These people are going out of town. Okay, so I'm going out of town, and I'm going to set a car on fire that I don't know who car I'm setting on fire. How do I know where you live? So I'm setting a car on fire, just so happen to be a rental. Not your actual car, because who gives a damn about the rental when you're paying insurance on it? Nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody. All these people was in on it. It was a setup and a double cross. That's what happened. That's what happened. That whole story just told itself. Because how the hell he know where you are? Why are you talking to this man?
So Spitting Fire, you're saying that allegedly that a blogger that she was already dealing with, talking to on YouTube, has something to do with that, had burned that car up, allegedly.
No, no. What I'm saying is, All of them talking. They just so happen to, I'm connecting the dots. All you have to do is connect the dots. How the dots connect and what it forms after you connect the dots, I don't know. And I know it forms a damn big ass setup. And I know somebody got double crossed because somebody got arrested, okay? But here's my thing, is that it was a blogger on the YouTube site that was associated with this young lady. Then there are other people who talk to this blogger.
Right.
You understand what I'm getting? People ain't paying attention to nothing. They just, yeah, right, I agree. Yeah, right, I agree. Connect the damn dots, people. Then she so happened to live out of state. And you just so happen to be on every people platform. Okay, Donnie boy. And you just so happen, whoever you connected with just so happened to go to the state to where this young lady is. And just so happened to burn up the rental car. Not the actual car, but the rental. Because I'm not going to blow up my car just in case I get caught, because then that'll be insurance fraud on top of the other allegations if the feds ever even wanted to investigate further. But ain't nobody investigating a rental property like that. You know what I mean?
What kind of evidence do you think they have on Don Russell?
Well, the thing of it is that I believe this. There's a blogger, like I said, that's on YouTube that said he's been contacting and he's been contacting with the feds. He's been talking to them. He gives them everything that he got over here. Everything that somebody on the Cal side got or whatever they do, he goes and gives it to the feds. So he goes and gives it to the prosecutor and stuff like that, or the police officer or whatever. So therefore, the person, the young lady, was talking to these people, and then she turned around and give it to them and said, oh, yeah, they tried to bribe me. They tried to bribe me. Not knowing that if they did come with that damn money, she wouldn't have said nothing, but I wouldn't have trusted her anyway. They tried to bribe me. And then she turns around and gives it to them, playing the victim role or whatever. See, I think all of this was a setup and a double cross, and everybody in on this shit. Everybody in on this motherfucking shit. That's just my take on it. Okay? I could be wrong, and I'm not pinpointing who particular person, but everybody know what the other side have done. They said it themselves.
Right.
It ain't nothing that I said. They said it themselves. Everybody, you ain't got to say, well, Spitfire said this. They said it themselves, that they were giving stuff to the prosecutor and the feds and all this. They said it themselves. Right. So she's recording stuff, and she gave it to them too. So she already know what to do, because he done said what he was doing, and she conversed with this man. She was over at his house.
Right.
So she just so happened to be talking to Don Russell. Come on now. You just so happened to be talking to him and his man, and they're negotiating them out, and then you just so happen to be giving the damn recording, because everybody records shit. If you don't know nothing about these YouTube streets, everybody records shit. So why would you even talk to somebody about a fucking payoff over the phone? I'm not
even aware.
Everybody recorded everybody. No. People were recording other bloggers, and bloggers wasn't even in on the shit.
Right. I'm not aware of all of that.
People record me. I don't give a shit, because I'll tell you myself. You know, everybody will whoop my ass, but what I'm saying is, what the hell? Like, and I'm not even in on the shit. What's the purpose of recording me? But people record everything. So why would you sit up there and be talking about, I'm going to give you $300,000 if you don't do this on R. Kelly, if you don't do this on Cardi? The man is on lockup. He has been, everything that he does, they monitor. Like Steve said, if he crap, they monitor that. He got to ask to use the bathroom. He cannot possibly do it if they are speaking to the jurors. Okay, so if people will stop talking, and if people will make their bloggers get that information out there to the people and sit up there and talk to the potential jurors, as we were doing early last year before we were compromised and infiltrated, then you wouldn't have this issue. But I had started Unity Week, and that's blown to pieces, because everybody has just, they started to beep again. Yeah. The Unity Week was supposed to do nothing but blog. You weren't supposed to do nothing but support the people who you support.
Well, did you make sure they was going to do it with you? Because if you didn't get them, if they didn't agree to do it, they wasn't ever going to do it anyway.
Well, see, it wasn't to the bloggers. It was to the subscribers.
They can't help themselves.
That's what I'm saying. If you can point your blogger's coattail, like, hey, chill out. You know what I mean? If you make them do it, because you got the power to do it. See, right. That's what I've been saying all along. Me and you have spoken. You got the power to do that, but people didn't do that. They didn't pay attention. They got so caught up in the shenanigans that they forgot. This all a fucking says it's all just to take your attention away. You know what I mean? It's all it. It's
right.
all it. It is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I just feel sorry for R. Kelly though.
Yeah. He has a lawyer and he has us as his supporters. And I feel that in order to look, people are not going to do that. You have to do that. You have to take that leadership role, even if you have two people with you. That's what I found works. And I don't even see the mess on my timeline because I'm not for that. I'm not here for that. I think the person that you have, not you, but if you are blogging, I think you have to kind of separate yourself from that because that becomes too much of a bind and it's a hindrance. It's not a help. If it's going to start affecting me, it's time for me to cut myself from that. I continue to support R. Kelly and continue to talk about him, but I want all that off my timeline because that's not why I'm here.
Absolutely. And you and I, when you talked about this about a month ago, and I'm telling you, It is liberating. It's very liberating to just be a neutral blogger again and to be able to give your take and without being on one point, on side or another. But you know what I'm saying? 'Cause you can freely voice your opinion and not give a damn what nobody says because you're not.
You got to cut yourself off from that because
you got to cut yourself off. Yes, you do. And I have, and I'm telling you, I feel so liberated. I do. I really do. Because I see what the derail is. I see what the monkey wrench is. I see it all.
Yeah, it ain't even because it's like you can't get too deep into that because at the end of the day, they let you make them look like the fools when you drop the ball and keep moving. I don't speak on them, and if I do speak on them, I don't feel no attachment. So
right,
that's the point.
Right, and it took me a long time to get there. Like it took me a long time to get there, but now I'm just totally detached from everyone. You know what I mean? I can literally just blog and say everything that I want to say. You know what I'm saying? And I try to respect everyone in addition to me saying that. But I'm going to speak my mind as I've always been.
Right.
And I'm going to say what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm going to get on any and everybody that I feel that is, you know, I just think it's a double cross. It was a setup and a double cross, and I think that a lot of people on these YouTube streets are in on it. It's I don't understand why people don't see the shit we see, but anyway, I digress.
Right, but you know what? They'll get caught up. They'll get found out. They will get found out, you know. So yeah, I think Spitfire feels like she says it's a double cross, and people on these YouTube streets are involved with it. Period.
Yeah, it's a setup and then a double cross. Like we all go set up and then we go have him take the photo. And then you notice that it's always within a month or so before his trial. Every time he go to court or every time they put in a new motion or something like that, if the defense does something strong, they come with a concoction. If people, I don't get why they don't get it. I don't get why they don't get it. If people will stop the going back and forth, they make their bloggers stop. Let's see what they have.
Well, let me ask you
but
this,
nobody
Spitfire.
can see.
Do you think that you care more than maybe they don't care that much? Maybe they're not passionate.
They don't. They don't.
Not, so you can't really do nothing with that. You have to.
Right.
You know, you have more passion and drive. Keep doing what you're doing. And the people, you know, the subscribers and everybody on YouTube. They just, you know, they'll be following, they'll follow suit, but people, they're not real for it. Maybe they're not real for it. Maybe they're not passionate for it. Maybe
they just want to be entertained. They can really care less about it.
You get more people to watch, and that's not when it comes to R. Kelly. I don't find that as a game, so that's why I feel like I stopped talking about it when it's nothing else to say. And now that the trial is coming close, now I feel like it's time. Realistically, the trial is approaching. There's more to talk about. Unless there's something that, you know, some people just find things that I don't find. Maybe they dig into the investigation and find out more things in between. But me, I feel like, no, I want it off my timeline because I'm not here on social media, period, to be stressed.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not an R. Kelly blogger, first of all. I'm not. You know, I've always said that. I want everybody to understand that again. I'm saying it on your on your channel. I'm not and have never been for R. Kelly. I've never been an R. Kelly blogger. I've always been for injustice, period, on men. And that's why when I do my commentary, I speak on a whole lot of different men, even some that are unknown. However, it seems to me that people saying that they're for R. Kelly, but they're really not. It's like somebody betting on their favorite team. You know, I'm betting on this team, you betting on this team, and all this and that. That's what I think people are thinking this is like. And R. Kelly is an actual man. Robert is a man. You understand? And his freedom has been taken. And this is serious. But until it starts happening more and more to the average Joe, then people will start understanding what the deal is. Just like when I was speaking on injustice, until it actually, everybody seen George Floyd actually being killed in front of their eyes and everybody went in an uproar. It's like people actually have to see shit in order for them to understand what is exactly happening. You know what I mean? So that's what I was saying. Like, people just love drama.
Right, my fault.
They love drama. They love drama. They don't care about the facts. Their subscribers neither. They just love drama because it's entertaining. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But like I said, I just pray for R. Kelly. I pray for his attorneys. I pray that those who are involved in the setup and the double cross, I pray that it all get untangled and unwoven, and I pray that they all go to jail. You know what I mean? I pray that the parents go to jail because I feel like that's lack of parenting and stuff like that. I pray that all these people go to jail. If a man is a workaholic on music and traveling around the world, he ain't got time to be orchestrating no damn crime like this. This is just common damn sense. Right. Common sense. And I'm sick of all this victim shaming shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of all that shit. You know, you can sit up and accuse somebody of something. Everything need to be let the fuck out. Who is you to say you a victim? Once we call people victims, we automatically say the other person is guilty. People ain't paying attention to shit like that. People just retarded as shit. You know, sometimes when you talk about moving to the moon, sometimes you just want to move to the moon to get away from the thought process of these damn people on Earth, because it's crazy as hell, and I don't understand it.
Listen to this. I'm about to play this video. I don't know what it is. It says Azriel Clary speaks about car being put on fire and has a message. And let me play this real quick. I don't know if you want to hear it. Let's see. We're going to see what it is.
Assumptions.
Okay, I'm still watching.
I will have to start off with my car for all the people that think I set my own car on fire. I mean, wow. I mean, where's that meme? Where's that meme where that guy be like, what the fuck? Like, where is that meme? Because I need that meme. Like, I need that meme.
She's full of shit. That's what I'm going to say. Because this is smiling and all that. I just can't deal. I don't know how. That's what makes me mad. Like, how the fuck you end up with this? Flee this shit where it's at. That's what makes me mad, Spitfire. This girl you should know better than that. Come on now.
If somebody really set my car on fire and that was after to kill me, first of all, I'm not even on social media. Okay? All my damn accounts coming down. You're not going to know where the hell I'm at. You're not going to know anything. I'm not going to be on social media, not on their account where you know anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's how you know. But people, it is what it is. You know, if I say I'm a victim, the world now says, okay, we pat you on the back. Nobody has to be, men are all liars. If you women, you got sons, your son is a liar. You know what I mean? And if you don't check the damn bloggers to make them be right or whatever and make them do right, your son gonna go down. Okay? So when you support shenanigans over reality and this man's life is at stake, this is what your son gonna be doing. He's gonna be in jail too with R. Kelly. Because your ass ain't taking the shit serious either.
Right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Spitfire. I'm going to see if somebody else want to call in, and I'm going to wrap it up and leaves. Get up out of here.
All right,
but they enjoyed you in that chat.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye, baby. I love you.
Love you too. Y'all, this Spitfire. Make sure y'all, if y'all don't know, go check her channel out. She got some powerful messages. So check her out. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm going to play the rest of this, y'all. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah. The police, definitely the person who did it, when they did it, their jacket actually caught on fire. So, as they were fleeing, they ended up having to take off their jacket because it was on fire. So the police does have evidence of their jacket. The police has evidence of the gasoline cans. And so, look at God. Look at God working working.
It better be God, girl. Be
Fire
playing
and
with
set
God.
yourself on fire. Look at God. But I mean, truthfully, I really feel like I don't really have to, you know, share every single detail, you know, with everyone. Only because, like I said, it's still an ongoing investigation. And the police are sorting it out. Like, I already knew that they had the evidence immediately. You know, the martial law has been here, you know, scrubbing the chemicals from off of the house, from around the entire house. So, I mean, why do I need to give you more than what I've already given you? The whole purpose of the message was to be safe, most importantly, and to just know that no matter how much people smile on social media, that does not mean that they're not going through stuff behind closed doors. And, you know, people ask a lot out of people. And sometimes you have to realize that everybody is going through stuff behind closed doors.
I can't hear no more of it. I can't take no more of it. I can't. It's like a show. It's like a show. Girl, who died and made you somebody's damn leader? Girl, you ain't nothing but a little girl to me. Like, it's like you ain't been through nothing. Girl, why is this girl always teaching somebody something? Who the hell? Why y'all listening to her? Y'all older than her ass. Grow up. Grow up mentally. Look at this shit. Like, I just can't. I can't even hardly look at this anymore. Felicia said, they set my car on fire and your life been in jeopardy. And your life been in jeopardy. You can see back and smile like it's a joke. Oh yeah, you saying it? Yeah, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Even when she said he hit her with a shoe, she was smiling. It's not a fucking joke, bitch. Like, what the fuck? This is pissing people off. Now me, I stays away from her. I don't want to be in nobody's indictments, nobody's articles, none of that. That's why I had to stay away from this. Because the more I listen to her and them and all of this, even R. Kelly, I be mad. Like, what the hell? This is crazy. Crazy. Yes, she needs help. She needs help. Like, this is crazy. The feds is full of shit too, if you ask me. You full of it. You full of it. You know what this girl doing. You ain't advised her to sit her stink ass down. You didn't advise her to cover her behind up. Like, cover your behind. That's putting you and your own self in danger. You know the crazy people out here that don't have nothing to do with R. Kelly? Just parading around? What kind of parents you got? What kind of parents do you have? Like, I don't understand. This girl act like she rule that house. I wish you would. I wish you would. I wish you would. Like I said. And I don't buy it. All the smiling, all the craziness. It's crazy. So, I want to show y'all something, right? Anybody in here know anything about this carbonation thing? Well, I'm going to show y'all what keeping it real means, okay? As soon as this video come up, let's see here. So, we had Spin Fire call in. Thank you, Spin Fire. I'm going to play this video real fast. And shout out to the T, because I think this is from them. Yeah. Now, this is what I call... Okay, wait. I love their little music. This is what I call liberation. Make sure y'all check out the T. You'll get all this information, honey. This is some... You get caught up in this kind of stuff. Liberation here, okay? This is what I call liberation. When you have a woman coming from a caught situation where this dude is beating these girls up behind closed doors, but they won't leave him. They swear they his wives. It's just ridiculous stupidity. Now, if they're saying that R. Kelly ran a cult. No, this is the real life cult, okay? And I don't know. We would, like I said, the trial is coming up. Yeah, so check this out, you know. Let me get past that part. All right, this is Nature Boy here, the leader of it.
Name. She said she left with a leak in Virginia. I need to know who you talking about first. Your wife, the one that got the peach tatted on her butt.
You talking about Natiri?
Yes, Natiri. She said she left there with a leaking vagina. She said her vagina was itching, leaking, burning, and stinking. She said she had to go to the hospital and they gave her all the antibiotics. It was so, her vagina was so messed up after leaving Carbonation.
And you could see on his face that it's true. It's true. This guy right here, I could look at him and tell what he be about. I could just see it through him, what he's about. You know, people worshipped him. He in his lifetime before he got to this point. He was into stripping, into porn, barber. So you know, he's out. He's worldwide. The women want him. The girls want him. The young women want him. So when this caller that's calling him is saying, one of the girls that left, she's telling us all out here that when she left, she's telling us all out here how it was. The girls that's in that house, they had, hey, when she came out, she was funky, she was itching, she was all of that. And look at him, listen to the person. He looks guilty, like his stuff stink too.
If they couldn't even give her a real pap smear.
Get this checked out because I can't. It's like it's not feeling right. It hurts. It's itchy, and it's kind of swollen, leaking, all this other stuff. Like, it was not okay for me. So that's what I had to express. Like, I wanted to express that for a while. Like, this is not to be ignored.
Can you address that, please?
Damn. I couldn't tell you. Nothing about that. I don't know. Like,
the guilt.
And I had to let them know straight up, like, look, my vagina's hurting. I'm still upset about the solar thing, all this other stuff. And, you know, there was some people that was like, oh, okay, I understand. And some people had no compassion for that. I'm just like, come on, like, that shit weird. That shit weird to me. But, I mean, it's all good, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad that I'm healed now. And we took, like, Baba G was really, really compassionate about it. Like, he was trying to tell me, he was trying to warn me not to go through it or whatever like that.
That's some terrible.
Well, she said most of the women over there smell like fish and garbage. So she said they're having vagina problems, and she had a serious vagina problem. So you don't think that y'all got STDs that you guys are passing around for her to leave? Carbonation and her vagina is leaking. She said her vagina was pussing and oozing and swollen.
Yo, I love this shit.
This is serious. I'm serious.
Nah, I love this shit. I appreciate you. So I love you, yo. I really do love y'all, yo. For real, I missed y'all. I missed y'all. Nah, the Terry got voted out. But that's some funny shit. That's some funny shit.
So you don't think that y'all should go get tested just to make sure that there's nothing going on?
Nah,
because she seemed like she was telling. I don't see nobody lying on their vagina like that just to get clout. You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, because I know you're one of my trolls. But there's a wise saying that says, believe half of what you say.
No. So I just wanted y'all to get a feel of that. Do you understand where I'm going with that? Maybe not. This is carbonation. Okay. When you sleeping around, when people are sleeping around sharing body, sex, you passing around bacteria. So for me, this whole, we're gonna be raw. This whole two relationship, one guy, two girls, one guy thing is just sick to me anyway. It's you don't have to have a disease. You don't have to have an STD. You could just be a woman that have a yeast infection, and then you having sex with her and him. That means you passing around that bacteria, that fungus, that yeast. And this is a gross talk. But I was glad that Natiri was able to share her experience, even though it was gross. But tell the people, because we do have people like Cardi coming out with songs, Wet Punani, and just praising this thing, glorifying it. So you have all these girls that's funky thinking that that's good. They stupid. They don't know half of them. So you just have to be careful about your choices. Even when we talking about what's City Girls, I talked about them last night. Their song I don't like to use the word pussy, okay? The Punani, this Punani talk, bands, whatever they say, because I can't, Benz and Pradas and you know, this pussy talk, all of that. I just feel like they glorifying it. Now they're coming out with a TikTok video. Now that's cool for the younger generation. That's cool for some of my generation. That's cool for the older generation. But for people that understand these things, that's what my job is as an adult human being that has some experience, to tell the world that, honey, you shouldn't be leaking, okay? You shouldn't. You know, when you, obviously that's a part of your function when you with your person, but take care of your BO. Take care of yourself. And all this sharing and all these having multiple people in your relationship in your bed is just damn unhealthy, okay? And he laughing, right? He's laughing because he guilty. He's guilty. So y'all, the last thing I want to share with y'all before I go is again, these are just topics. So Lizzo was being canceled, and not too long ago, people was celebrating her because she's a big girl and because she flaunts her body. People celebrating her bigness, and that she's comfortable with her sexuality. And I only want to share a little bit, really, because now that we don't wind down, to be honest, I just want to share with y'all this latest. She's been canceled. See what's going on with Lizzo here. So it says on Instagram, and shout out to It's On Site. It says that it's TT on Twitter because fans from One Direction and BTS are showing their unhappiness about some comments from the rapper Lizzo talking about the guys. One Direction is a boy band. BTS is a South Korean boy band. Notice they're not black. They're not black. One Direction are formed out of London. BTS is out of South Korea. So you got this big black girl, big, watch out for them big girls. Not saying anything wrong with it, but you have her that's under scrutiny because of her. Now, before they was praising this girl. She was out here before the pandemic talking about she can do twerk and all that, showing all her cellulite and all her weight. Knowing it's unhealthy, the message you're sending is, I can be big, I can be sexy. And she is big and sexy. But it don't matter if you small and sexy. If you unhealthy, then maybe whatever you are, when you are in that public light like that, and you have so many people watching, you have to be very careful about the message you're sending. So it says, on an interview, she said, if I could collaborate with BTS, I mean, that sounds fun. I don't know if I could make it through the studio session without having sex with all of them. Next to this, she said she was kidding. She also has talked about Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, and Niall Horan from One Direction. Again, these are all white boys. These boys. About Harry, someone asked about a collaboration with a British artist, and she said, we collaborated, his dick in my asshole. And I'm just reading y'all what it said. She said, okay, and about the Irish artist Niall Horan, in a clip shared on Twitter, the good as hell singer recalls meeting the former One Direction star for the first time. He said, you're smashing it this year. So he just like, you smashing it this year. Remember last year she was smashing it. Lizzo was talked about everywhere, going to the basketball game, dancing, twerking with her ass out, everything. She was just all over headlines. I did some videos as well on Lizzo. I wasn't too stunned about her. I didn't like what she was doing. I don't care if she big or small. I don't like that. That's the thing y'all say here. And then well, I say you could smash this. That's what Lizzo said, which is the thing we say over there. After that comment, the artist said he felt uncomfortable. Now, I don't know where that's at, because when I saw the guy Niall, he didn't seem uncomfortable at all. In fact, he did an interview, I think, with Jimmy Kimmel, where he actually was not uncomfortable. He was flirting with her. So it says, let me finish this up. About Louis Tomlinson, she sent him a greeting saying, shout out to this fine ass Louis Tomlinson. There's only one direction he's going, my dressing room. So let me know, what do you think about it? Some people say she's just kidding, but others of us think that's harassment. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because to give y'all a background, Lizzo, and I'm going to cut this thing off. Let me just go ahead. Lizzo is being accused of sexually harassing men by One Direction fans and BTS fans. Let me just read some of the Twitter comments. Why is this important, Spicy? How do you spell cancel? Cancel Lizzo party. Is that it? It's important because people will love and praise you when they want to. But when they're ready to, when they get sick of your ass, when you disappoint them, all it takes is one higher up to turn that whole thing around. It was good, it was dandy for her twerking and shit all around the neighborhood. But what did she do to tick somebody off? Why did they turn on her? Maybe perhaps they always felt that way. Maybe they always felt like you look nasty, but they didn't want to say anything because, you know, people do what everybody else do. People are such followers. Most people are followers. They see this one doing that, they'll agree, they'll follow suit. I'm not a follower. Don't you be a follower. So, some people was with it. Harry Styles is so lucky. What's Lizzo getting canceled? Somebody wants to know. Let's go to it. Oh my. So this is a video. They're showing now videos. Now you know they bringing out different old videos where she was flirtatious. And as you can see here, she touches him a little bit, but that's nothing. Bethel says, y'all are acting like the boys are soft, innocent puppies. Sorry to break it to you, but they're grown-ass men who can take a joke. There's a difference between sexualizing someone and making a joke. Just say you're anti-black and go. So Bethel is making this about being black. And I don't think that it's about black. I think it's about her. But you know what? It could be because these are boy bands. They're not black. One of them is South Korean boy band. The other one is a Irish and something else. Irish and like English band. All right. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all. Obviously, I mean, there's not much to say about it. Just the fact that, you know, we're going through this cancel party. We're going through this it's okay, Me Too movement. Men can't flirt with women movement. But what happens when the woman is being accused of sexual harassment? And in Lizzo's case, that's what actually did happen. Again, that's pretty much it, y'all. I don't really got nothing else. I appreciate y'all coming to the live. Please make sure that please like the video. I really would appreciate that, guys. They do. They like to make an ass out of themselves. Daddy Lolo said they just not attracted to her. They're not. And it's funny because Lizzo, when she was twerking at that basketball game, she went to the Staples Center in LA. She was twerking at that game, if y'all remember that. About 8 months ago. She had her shirt with a hole in it, ass out. I didn't like that. Because like I said, it's about class. It's about dignity. Just because you want to prove a point that big girls can do it too. Girl, dress sexy. Girl, dress nice. But be classy. Because at the end of the day, you still got to respect yourself. Do you have to press your point? Being disrespectful to yourself. And that's the thing that she was doing to me. You going out like that. That's not respecting yourself. People ended up throwing money at her. As if she was a stripper. She got put out that night, too. Which had to be very, very embarrassing for her. Or whatever. Alright, y'all. So I'm rolling now, okay? Again, thank y'all so much for joining me today. It's pretty much talk about R. Kelly. Just probably will be back when something else comes up. Don't know. Like I said, it's about being consistent. So I've been coming live even when I ain't really feel like it. You know, so I appreciate y'all rolling with me. What's up, Jihad? Appreciate y'all rolling with me and everything. Matt, everybody, Jocelyn, thanks again. Spitting Fire, thank you. Roland, thank you. And if I miss you, Mammy Sue, Benton, Dee Dee Lee, Smokey B, and I missed your call. IG Live, funny videos. What's up? All right, y'all take it